We started a fight between two house parties. Senior year of college, we did a lot of roof drinking. Me, my buddies Sean and Tex, real hitters.
I want to rock right now.
We had this old antenna next to our house, like the old metal antenna with the climbing. It's almost like an old metal ladder, basically, that's built into the ground. Climb up the side of it, step onto the roof. And once we got over this peak of our roof, we had this flat section that overlooked basically the entire city of Bowling Green. It was an awesome view for us. Our neighbors were beefing all year. It was a cross-country team on one side, the soccer team on the other, and they were constantly fighting. So we were not fully aware of the extent of this beef. So we're up there drinking beers. They're both having a party this night. We weren't. So we're just overlooking these two house parties, listening to music, drinking beer on the roof. We're just vibing out. We ran out of beer. My buddy Tex goes down. We had this drawstring bag that we would just load the beer up in and climb up the antenna. So Tex climbs back up with our beer. Me and Sean are waiting for him. He comes over, tosses us the beer cans. Me and Sean get these toaster warm beer cans all shaken up, and we're like, dude, what the hell? And he looks at us and goes, mine's cold, cracks his beer open, starts drinking it. And his was cold. You could see the sweat coming off of it. We're like, wow, you're the worst for this. So me and Sean are both like, we're not drinking this. He's like, you're drinking them. We're like, no, dude, we're not drinking this shit. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? You bringing us up to warm beers. We go to chuck them in our backyard, and he's like, don't you dare throw those in our yard. And we're like, yeah, not that there's not a bunch of trash back there anyway, but okay. So I throw mine to the left into one neighbor's yard. Sean throws his to the right into the other neighbor's yard. Tex finishes his beer. The parties continued. Then we went over the roof and climbed down the antenna. Our other buddies who lived at the house, Luke and Kyle, were playing Stump on the front porch. So for those of you who don't know Stump, one of the greatest, me and Sean were just talking about this last weekend. Stump is one of the most dangerous drinking games when you really think about it, because everyone gets a nail in a log, and you have a hammer that you pass around, and you have to spin the hammer and hit someone else's nail as quick as you can. And whoever's the last nail standing wins. So, like Sean was saying, like from a drinking game standpoint, like it's amazing we didn't hurt ourselves more significantly playing Stump. But anyway, Kyle and Luke were doing it on the front porch. Tex, Sean, and I climb down the antenna, come in through the back door, and when we come in, Luke and Kyle are just like, bro, and they're staring out the window. We look out the front window. There's a brawl taking place between the cross country and soccer team in our front yard. And we were like, holy shit, this is wild. Now, us not being aware of how serious the beef was, and also just not thinking about obviously me and Tex were like, oh, this is definitely because of us. But we didn't want to tell the other guys. They turned around, they're like, did you guys have something to do with this? We're like, no, we were just drinking on the roof. Didn't see it happen. Don't know anything about it. So this brawl is taking place. I mean, I'm talking like fist fight. And we didn't want to get involved because we hear the cop sirens coming. So we just stay in the house. They're throwing haymakers in our front yard. So we just stay inside. We're like, we're not even going to get involved in it. Cops show up. They all get detained. You can tell they're like figuring out what happened between the two teams and all this stuff. And they didn't get arrested or nothing, so it was no big deal. I don't think they got any citation or anything. It's just a warning. But it ended up getting them in trouble with the school like a week later, and we didn't even know about it. Well, they started beefing with us because they found out we were the ones. They put two and two together and figured out we were the ones that threw the beer cans. So we ended up having like a week-long fight with them during the last week of school. That was just crazy, and I'll tell more stories about that later on. But we had the cross-country and soccer team after us all the time during our last couple of weeks of school, and we didn't even figure out why they hated us so much until things had escalated beyond craziness. So so that's that was the story of how we started beef with our neighbors. And this may be a script story, this may be a real story, this might be both. But you'll have to tune in for more episodes to find out. Talks with Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting paid, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
Mic check. check, mic check, and we're good.